My people, what up, dog? We back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
And I'm Butta, y'all. What's good? Bell, what's going on with your mic?
Yeah, get your microphone together, cuz.
Nothing changed. I'm like, however I was talking to y'all before.
Well, say your name again so they know who you is.
I'm Bell.
There he is.
There you go.
What's happening, fellas? What's good? What it do? What it is? What it does, cuz? It's good to see y'all boys again. We back at it. Let's get to it. Bellhead, you first, man. Check in. How you be? How you living? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I've been in the gym like for a while now, and the challenge is I haven't been running. So I haven't been running, and I'm lifting a lot, but I'm not lifting heavy. And I also started taking creatine for the first time. I hear like there's all kinds of benefits from it, but I got a feeling that this creatine is creating more muscle mass or something, because I'm up like 5 pounds. Yeah. So anyway, I started today incorporating 10,000 steps. So 10,000 steps will help me maintain, because I lose weight fast when I walk. Because even when I run, certain days that I run, depending on the distance, I won't even get 10,000 steps. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'll just start going back to my 10,000 steps. So I think right now, let me see where I'm at today. 96.24. So I'll be able to get to 10 by the end of this night. But yeah, so I got that going on. Just got back from Tampa yesterday. It was smoldering out there. And then I got back to Connecticut or Boston, and it was smoldering out here. Yeah. What else I got going on? I decided to take a Spanish course.
Okay.
Yeah, so I need a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like I need a challenge, and so that's one thing I'm tapping into. Also, I'm back writing in my book. So I picked that up on the flight home from Tampa, and just getting back in there, because I got a lot of shit going on, like in general. So I kind of need like more stimulation. You know what I'm saying? So like work is busy, but work it's not like it's not like overwhelmingly busy. It's just regular cadence busy. You know what I'm saying? So nothing that I can't manage. So I'm like, I need to, and I'm about to chase up for boxing, and I'm also going to do it. So just stuff like that I've been thinking about. So I'm going to find, I did a quick search, and it's like Spanish teachers between like $25 and $30 an hour or something like that. So I'm gonna look into it. I don't know if it's better to do it at a university, if that's even an option, or to pay somebody to teach me. So, for those listening, if you have recommendations, let us know.
That's what's up.
But that's it.
That's dope.
And I also decided to know, I said 3 years, I might have to readjust this. No luxury spending. No luxury spending. For time frame to be determined. But
now, is this quiet luxury or?
So that's what it's a working definition. So like I'm still putting the pieces together. I know I need to like part of the whole Spanish lessons is like I'm only spending my money. That's what I'm saying now. I got to sit down and really chart it out. But I'm only spending my money on investments. So, like, if it's an investment, it's fair game. But again, that's what I'm saying. It's still in the incubation phase. So I'll get back to y'all.
I like it. Okay, Dan, you ain't got to force me. I'll go next. And so,
Chief over there texting.
I mean, like, you over there doing love porn or something.
No. I got, speaking of, but go ahead. I got some good stuff I'm working on right now, but carry on.
Oh, say word. What's her name?
Home, bro.
Say her name. Say her name.
Okay, cool. Go Knicks, right? They did the damn thing yesterday.
For sure.
I believe that anybody that's single in New York City clearly ain't dating the Knicks fans. They have no expectations, and they're always grateful when the shit happens. Um, and I think you should find somebody who is like the winter of 2025, 2026, like can't let go.
Yeah,
Like just held on way too tight. Like this winter held on to spring like you mine.
yeah.
So, then we woke up to 90 degrees and like asthma. Like it's just
Word.
um I'm really hyped. I'm looking for writing workshops to your point about Spanish. I want to get more writing in my body. I've been like moving slow around writing my book, Lose the Weight, WAIT. And so I'm really intentional about wanting to get that done this year. This is a special 5/5 year. I'm going to do a quick EPK, just a couple of songs. So I'm giving myself the summer to play. You know what I'm saying? Because of you all, I have like refocused myself around my own spending and how grossly irresponsible I've been financially. And so, just making there was some I think there were not I think there was some fear there. And so I just get to be responsible in that. I've been sitting in a lot with this 5-year conversation. I heard myself, I didn't watch the podcast, but I heard myself play back some of the conversation when you jumped off bail. And I was like, oh, I got stuff I didn't know I had. And then just before I got on this call, I just finished a panel on intimacy, our second one. And this one was into you, I see, where we were able to look at like creating intimacy from the lens of looking at people and looking into the people whose lives, people we love. And what came up for me is also loving the people when it's hard to love them and what that looks like. And then giving grace to those who've loved me when it's been hard to love me. And I have like an amazing cousin who I really want to reset on that relationship. And, that kind of thing. It's been cool. Like, I'm really feeling good. I feel like I'm in this crazy place of discovery. I sat with 4 mothers today, 4 immigrant moms, and I'm emphasizing immigrant because it gave me a chance to talk to them from the lens of what they've overcame, and then removing the title of immigrant to just being a mama, and then removing the title of mama to being a woman. What we can't remove is culture. So some of them have come in cultures that have, for the lack of a better term, if I was looking at it from an American lens, they've been in abusive relationships, America standard, however common, coming from their home countries, is how things were or how things are. And coming here, they want freedom. And it made me think about my own mom and my own dad and think about what if they just did the best they could? Right. And in not knowing things for themselves, of course, they wouldn't know to give me certain things. So it was just a delicious moment. And I'm just glad today was just a day of like growth and wisdom and knowledge, even up to like hearing you share Bill. Chief, you up?
I appreciate you, man.
Before you go, I think that's dope, buddy, that,
But maybe turn down a little bit, bro. Like it sounds hella like loud and echoey, bro.
Wait, let me turn my fan off. Let me see if that's the problem. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Echoey?
Yeah.
Well, definitely gonna put my fan back on, man. It's hot as hell in here. I just turned it down a little bit.
It's actually a little better, yeah.
All right. I remember what I was gonna say, so Chief, just go ahead.
I wish we had like a rewind button on this joint.
That's crazy.
Same old with me, man. Kids are happy and healthy, nothing to complain about. Bubba's been active with games all week. Just killing it, man. Like it's kind of really dope to see. Like she's been super consistent these past like 2.5 weeks, hitting the shit out the ball, like crushing it. And it's just, I'll send y'all some clips later, and it's just real cool to see. Work is really, really getting on every nerve that I have. I'm on the CT Reap every day trying to see what's available. It's these kids just it's just a lot. I think anybody in education is kind of struggling right now.
And it's also the end of the year.
And it's
You
the
know
end
what
of
I'm
the year
saying?
and the weather getting good, but like
All right. For those of you not watching, Chief
Just
just short circuited and went out. I'm not sure what happened exactly.
yeah, that's
Um,
crazy work.
that's wild. I don't know what happened. Anyway,
It
I
could
do
have been
remember.
kids.
Yeah, exactly. They tapped into his internet, cut it off. Um, but what I was gonna say earlier is I thought it was dope, and I assume this, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. Um, were the immigrant women that you were referencing, were they from that panel you were speaking on or coaching through?
No, this was I met with them, their parents at a school that I've done work with the teachers and the students. And so the assistant principal enjoyed it so much. Was like, would you come in and do something like this with our parents? And tonight I was able to dive a little deeper with the mothers.
Okay.
And what I landed on, there's a sister by the name of Joy Rhodes. She has a song called I Love Me. And so I took their workshop from a conversation of I love me because I find with sometimes with parents, they forget themselves by giving of themselves. I don't care how successful or anything like that. Sometimes parents will sit on the back burner, not realizing that they're already done. You don't need to be on the back burner. We need you in the forefront. And many of our children don't listen to us anyway. They're only watching us. So if they're watching you with all of, as an example, if they watch you with all of our detailed doctor's appointments, but don't know when yours are, that's a problem.
Mm.
As an example. And then talking to them about portable skills and what that looks like to like have a gallon of milk, you put it in the refrigerator, canned corn, you put it in your cabinet or your pantry, cereal box, you put it on the shelf, and then have them understand that's a portable skill for those who may be looking to move on to like a different kind of career. You have skills you can put on your resume. I keep accurate filing systems as an example. It's portable. Have you ever had to figure out, in your life where money was short and you had to take care of your family? Yes. How did you do it? Well, I took this money and did that. That money did that. You want to put on your resume, you're great with budgets. It's just nuanced skill set.
Transferable. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. No, only thing I was going to say was I just thought it was dope that you're in a position to teach and educate, and you're still learning a lot, in the process. I think that's really cool.
I appreciate that. It's whack if I knew.
Hmm?
It's whack if I knew.
Mm.
It would be whack. I always stand
Yeah.
up the student. I never stand up the teacher.
Yeah.
Chief,
Yeah.
you had the part with them whether children turned off your sound and equipment because they heard you talking about them. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but no, it's just been a lot. It's the end of the year, and it's expected, but it's just like it's super. It's just been the past 2 days have been really, really significantly busy. Like every 10 minutes, it's Mr. Peterson, Mr. Peterson, Mr. Peterson, and in the middle of that 10 minutes, I got an office full of students, and it's just been a lot. So it's like almost refreshing to just leave work and go relax with my kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Like leave work, pick up my kids and wild out. So it feels good. I can't wait to get up out of there so I can go pick up my babies and go, you know,
Can I ask you a question?
sure.
How long have you been in education? I'm gonna act like I don't know. How long have you been in education?
22 years.
In those 22 years, what are maybe three differences that you see in the students of old and the students now? If you could identify something, some like pivotal changes.
Um, I think the primary one is the level of respect that students have for adults is dwindling by the second. I mean, they're just. I mean, and some of them don't even know they're doing it. Like just like we was never cussing in casual conversation with adults.
Yep.
So like, yo, Mister, them jeans is fucking fire. They just don't know any better. And it's like, yeah, thank you, I appreciate it, but watch your mouth. Now them shits is fired. I'm saying and it's just like how. But then when you call the parents, they talking to the parents like that. It's like, okay, well, the apple don't fall far from the tree. But when you tell the parent apple don't fall far from the tree, now you a poor administrator. You're not a professional. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but that's the main thing that stands out to me. I mean, there's a ton of different things that I could say, but that's the one thing that kind of just common basic decency around respect, basic standard of common courtesy and respect is out the window now.
Has it been an education decline? Well, I would imagine COVID set everything back.
COVID definitely set everything back, but a lot of a lot of students nowadays, bro, like they say, no child left behind. The no child left behind left so many children behind. It is insane.
Is that still in place? I don't know.
No, it's not. But like, bro, when I tell you, like, they were just advancing kids who weren't ready for the next level, you would be surprised. It's been better in my building now, but previous years and many years ago, like I can distinctly remember printing out sight words from my daughter's kindergarten class to help my 17-year-old students with, like the cat hat, like really quick sight word, like you got to do 88 sight words in a minute type shit. And it's just like, come on, fam, like you can't be here cussing me up and down but can't read. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but that's neither here nor there. That's, I mean,
it's here and there. That's the problem. And I don't know that you're aware, and you might be, of how disappointed you are, because you don't sound angry.
Mm-hmm.
You sound disappointed.
It's poor parenting. That's the worst part of my job. These kids, I'm trying my best to keep them in school and to work with them, but it's like, when you call home and you got minimal support and they always making excuses and trying to blame the teacher, it's like, no. Your son was kicked out of class 5 days in a row because he won't shut up. And when she calls him out, he gets mad because she doesn't call the students that he was talking with out. But no, he was talking too. Why is she always talking to him? Well, tell him to stop talking. If he's not talking, she can't say nothing to him. Well, he's talking to others. They're talking too. I agree. I'm not saying they're not. But if he was talking and she addresses him, he can't get mad at her for addressing him for something he's doing.
Well, I just want to acknowledge in this moment your frustration. I didn't want to rail your check-in. I want to acknowledge it. But I also want to offer control the controllables.
All right.
Control the controllables. Just control the controllables. Give yourself some grace and give yourself permission to only control the controllables. Yep. And I hear your frustration. I do a lot of SEL work, as you both know.
Me too.
Students, and the unpacking is crazy. Crazy. So I get it. I just wanted to know your lens, from the lens of dean to administrator, what have you. Because I know just looking at it for myself, and to your point, Bill, people have used COVID as an excuse, but education has been on decline for a while. And we're forcing teachers to pass students who just aren't ready. And they're saying now, especially with you all's age group, that your honor students, your average students, are today's honor students.
Bell, I'll give you, you may know this or maybe not, but like, if you were given an assignment and you didn't do your assignment, what grade should you get?
F.
Like number wise.
0.
Right. You can't get a 0 now. The lowest grade they can give you is a 40. Don't do no work, and you got a 40 average.
You missed the most important part. There's also opportunity to make up all that work with no procession for the educators. So imagine you get to the end of the marking period, like you missed 13 assignments, but you have to allow them like breath to turn them in. Can you imagine going to your job, Bill, and then you'd be like, I ain't make my numbers?
Yeah, I missed all these deadlines, but that's funny because it's kind of like, yeah, no, I couldn't. It's not even worth going down that path. No,
yeah, I couldn't even imagine going. Right. But that's what we're teaching.
On a lighter note, I don't even talk with them kids no more.
Okay, go.
I'll tell you more about the context of it, Butta, but I had a conversation with Belle about some things going on in my world, and it made me really do some introspection because I felt like I was moving on the straight and narrow and doing the right thing, and then it just, outcomes were a little bit, consistent, and I'm just like, what is it about me? So I had a real deep conversation with my therapist and learned a lot about just attachment styles and different things that go on. And it was really it was interesting because for the first time in a very long time, like I really can sit back and go, maybe this time it ain't you. You know what I'm saying? After reviewing some of this stuff, and it just kind of, it was a little validating, but in the same token, it just kind of helped me learn more just about how just how people attach themselves to different things and where the attachment comes from and the connections and how it impacts certain people, especially coming from traumatic backgrounds and whatnot. So it was just an interesting thing. But like I read something the other day and it talked about people learning the language, but not really doing the work.
Talked about that on the podcast one night.
Yeah.
About how the awareness around mental health and everything like that gives people a lot of buzzwords to use in arguments and conversations, but those buzzwords should allow for them the space to learn more. But instead, they just take the words and weaponize them.
Right.
Yeah.
In
some cases.
And I think, well, I know that via this platform, I've gained the knowledge of all those buzzwords, but have been applying them consistently, religiously. And it's so cool just to see kind of how I show up now versus how I once was. And it's like, you change when you look at situations and they don't even impact you the way they once did before.
Mm-hmm.
When something pops up and I would normally feel some type of way about it and express myself in a way that was filled with anger and aggression, and now it's very simple, open conversations, and they're calm, and it's just so much more controlled, and I feel so much better about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like receiving the feedback from the individuals in that moment is like, okay, I'm doing something right because I'm not afraid. I can gently hold the mirror up to you, Butta, and go, yo, this is how you're showing up and how it's impacted me, and I just need you to know that. So you hopefully, you're interested in seeing that and doing something about it. Not if not for me, for yourself.
For yourself, yeah.
But I'm able to deliver that now without hurting feelings, without coming off as rude and disrespectful or arrogant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm able to invite people into conversations about themselves and have it be received in a way that warrants work, that warrants change, that warrants the desire to change. You know what I'm saying? So I ran into a situation where it was very resemblant of patterns from the past. And I checked myself first and go, what is it about you that's inviting this situation into your world?
That's a good lens. You
know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay. And then we got into the conversation about attachment styles. I'm like, oh, so now some of this is starting to make sense. And it's just, it was cool just to kind of another validating point to show the growth that's been happening. So I felt really good about it. And again, I bounced the idea off my guy and we kind of went back and forth, and I'll share it with you later. I think you could drop some good insight on it, but it was pretty cool, man.
Love that.
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good. And a side note, double back one more time, triple back. I don't know if I told you, but my baby got all conference. She don't know yet. So when y'all said congratulations, then y'all didn't say what it was for. So she was just like, thanks. I think she just talking about her games or whatever, but yeah.
No, I definitely said congratulations on our conference.
Oh. Yeah, she said it. And I was like,
I didn't know it was a secret, nigga.
No, it's not a secret. She's going to find out, but coach didn't tell her. I think they're telling her tomorrow at senior night.
Oh, you gotta, bro, you gotta.
It's fine. I think she knows.
Okay.
Like she's like,
she has some idea it's coming.
Yeah, so we're just hoping, and it was cool because I told the fellas that she made all conference, and I think she's like in the running for all state, and I'm like, it's a big deal for freshmen to make all state, and Austin reminded me like, yo, no, it's a big deal for seniors to make all state. It's like unheard of for freshmen to make all state. So if that happens, it's going to be a beautiful thing. But if not, like she made all conference, so
it was a big deal when she started varsity.
Touche.
We were like, what? Like it was a big deal.
What's their playoff chances?
They're in it.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, they're in it. They're probably middle tier of the pack right now, but they might be able to squeeze out a one game win, but they're gonna play them high caliber team to get the break speed off of them. But it's worth it,
Also, but it'd be good to see how she show up against that talent, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so. Absolutely. She's been super consistent, so I can't complain. So let's rock into this schedule, man. Let's see what we're talking about. We picking up from last week, y'all. Who those of you who were paying attention, we started talking about our 5-year plan and whatnot. Bell had to dip, some things came up or whatever, but we're gonna get into it. And oh, but it was go ahead, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I listened to the episode, so I appreciate y'all carrying the conversation on. So I listened to the episode, and a couple things. One, I don't have the next 5 years mapped out how you think I may have it mapped out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, these motherfuckers giving me a lot of credit. I appreciate that shit. A lot of times, my check-ins or my topics be stuff that's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff that I'm working through that I'm coming here for perspective, you know, not an I gotcha exercise. Not that you said I was doing that, but so a couple things. One, I have a general understanding, which we can get into if we go that route of what my next 5 years are going to look like. I do, but I don't have it. It's not mapped out, which is why, again, what I started the conversation talking about stimulation, right? I'm like, I'm feeling a little stagnant, so I need to do stuff to get them, what do you want to call it? Competitive juices, whether you want to call it, you know, I guess, long vision juices going, whatever you want to call it. But I just feel myself. It's funny because last time I felt like this, I told the Rams, like, we got to have a kid. I need some more motivation. So that's how Chase got here. Anyway,
Wow.
So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. But I think slightly different spin maybe than you thought I was going. Obviously, you guys have the questions, but I want to talk about tonight, and wherever we go. But I minimum want to talk about who were you 5 years ago, right? So right now, if you think about it, right, like just think about us as, just forget all black men, just us black men on this call. You talked about on the last call, Chief, about moving the goalposts. I think we all have done that more times than we care to share. That's one. Mm-hmm. The other thing is we're always looking forward, right? Whether forward could be tomorrow. Let me just be clear. Like we're always looking at something like, okay, I'm trying to do this so I can get this, right? And that could be like, hey, I'm trying to go to bed by 10 so I can be up by 8, whatever. We're always doing that. And I know definitely the three of us, what I tend not to do is look back and be like, okay, I'm not where I want to be, but 5 years ago today, I was here, right? Like conceptually, I can say, yeah, I'm better off, or I'm further off, or further down the road, whatever we want to say, but I never take the time to like, know tangibly, what is it that's different? You know what I mean? So I want to talk about that for a second. I want to talk about who you all were 5 years ago. And it doesn't have to be tangible for the purpose of this conversation, but if you want it to be, that's fine. I just want to just take a moment to hear from you about what noticeable differences or changes have happened in your life from 5 years ago to today.
Buddy, you want to go first?
Wow. That's mad disrespectful.
Yeah, I definitely thought you was about to go cheese.
I really thought he was
so no, I can. Again, so one, it's weird. So when you say tangible,
I said it doesn't have to be. I was just speaking for myself.
So one of the first things that I could talk about is what we just talked about, like just the level of growth that has happened, and it's a mind state thing for me that I'm super proud of in that regard. Tangibly. So when you say that, the first thing that comes to mind for me is not necessarily being financially where I want to be, but in a better place than I was then, but still not where I want to be. So back to that moving goalpost thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that that stands out as glaring to me.
But real quick, I know it's not where you want to be, but is it better than where you were?
Not by much,
Okay, but it's better.
but it's better for sure.
And I'm not trying to coerce you into saying it is or it isn't. I'm just you brought up tangibly financially, so I'm just thinking.
No, it's definitely better. Just in terms of like, we can start with my spending habits. Like, kind of like you. Like, I'm not like I don't. Bell, I can't even tell you last time. You know, we was crazy with. I can't tell you last time I bought a pair of sneakers for me, and that was all the time. So that's
I think that's always been your challenge is keeping it. Making has never been your problem.
yeah. So that's there. A big goal of mine is to like a stable, significant partner moving towards the rings and all that. Like that's one of them things that I think is really going to just change the dynamic of my world significantly. So to still be in this space of being a single man, then I'm a better man than I was then, but I'm still a single man. So I think
It raises the question of how much, not how much better. That's not what I'm trying to say. But how does that better man show up in these new situations?
that's like
Right,
we just
right. What I'm saying is you haven't put it to the test yet, is what I mean. Like, yeah, I agree with you. You are everything you said you are. It's just like, okay, so now it's like the excitement from, okay, I want that person because I want that person, and also I want that person to meet who I am today,
right,
right? Versus who I was.
In the couple of experiences that I've had, though, that you obviously know about, like I think you can in the conversation you can see how I'm showing up different in terms of just being able to have conversations I wasn't able to have then.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think this is just my opinion. I think as far as the work, I think you've taken all the steps to self-produce results, right? Like therapy, introspective work, peer conversations. I think you've done all of that. Now, the next step, and this is my opinion, is how that all shows up in real time with a real human, and then what you need to adjust at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yes, you are perfectly fine, just yourself. You know what I mean? But you put somebody else into that equation. Now you may have to tweak some things, right? You're not gonna pivot completely, but you're just gonna have to tweak some things and just see what they look like in practice, right? Versus theory. So
yeah. So the recent situation that I explained to you about, how I communicated, how I didn't respond the way I normally would, and what I intended in the conversation went exactly how I grew to expect it to be. Like when this happens again, this is how I intend or how I would like to show up. And I watched it play out in that way, and I'm like, this is kind of cool. Like it just felt good to be able to speak softly, to offer reassurance, to provide safety and comfort, and still not get the result I wanted, but to be in a place where I'm able to offer those things.
Let's pause there for a second, because I think that is probably one of the biggest, like if you talk about growth and self-development, in my opinion, one of the biggest ones for you is being okay when people don't necessarily see it your way. That to me is like probably one of your biggest, for me, like obvious positive changes.
And I don't want people sitting here thinking like I'm out here forcing people to take my way or the highway. That's not it. But I would spend so much time trying to get people to understand my perspective that it would create a bigger argument. Well, now I'm okay. Like, you know what? I get it. I understand. I'll just fall back and let the conversation lie where it may, but still be able to articulate, how I feel and just to be heard is and articulate my feelings in a way where I'm heard is enough for me now. I don't necessarily need it to be validated or agreed upon.
That's what's up. So if you had to narrow it down, or if you had to bullet it, what would you say the biggest things from 5 years from now to today?
The biggest thing from now is how I'm showing up as a man for the people in my world, the boundaries I'm setting for the people in my world, and to follow through with those boundaries, and still moving towards the things that I desire to have while giving myself the grace to grow and to make mistakes and to expand instead of beating myself up.
Love it. What about you, Butter?
Oh, before I move on, I just wanted to ask a question.
Oh, good.
Chief, have you noticed with the way you've changed, are the women changing? Or are you still attracting the same kind of woman?
And that was the conversation that I had with Belle that I had to have with myself and go, what is it about me that's attracting this particular type of woman?
Yeah.
And I can't say that we know what this type of woman is off of presentation alone. You got to kind of get to know these people and build and so on and so forth. But I'll explain to you later on. But that's what I recently learned about this whole attachment type of thing. Like it was making sense to me. I'm like, okay, I get it. That kind of makes sense. And it was able to help me understand why it presents as a similar type of woman. But I think it has a lot to do with, I've learned it has a lot to do with how I'm showing up. And it's a good thing in that regard. So, but I'll break it down in deeper detail with you later. But it was a learning curve for me, and it feels good to learn this thing and to see these things and to watch it play out in real time.
And
Yeah, but that's the practice, right? Like you
Mhm.
put things into practice and you're able to see these types of things. Go ahead, brother.
And then the other thing I was gonna ask you, if you're open to, give everybody the same boundary. So if you're creating a boundary for yourself, make sure everybody has this boundary as well. Your children, us, everybody. The reason why I'm asking you to do that, the more practice you get with the boundary, you'll be able to navigate how, when, and where, as opposed to this boundary is for this. And then you'll let the boundary down somewhere else and you'll go back and forget. But if you're practicing it now, my encouragement to you, use the boundary. Everybody should get the same boundary. So much so that when people talk about you, Bill and I'll be like, yeah, Chief, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Based upon his boundary here, yeah, Chief, don't do that.
No.
And then, hello, like, let the people know these are my boundaries. You may not frame it that way, but I think people often confuse tantrums and boundaries.
No, there's definitely there's definitely no tantrum there. But I think
I'm clear it's not. I love how you got to it. I'm just saying the execution of it, because you're practicing it, is fairly. When was the last time you talked about a boundary? That's big in and of itself. But I'm saying as you're practicing it, give it to everybody so that you don't become wishy-washy in your boundary.
Oh yeah, I'm doing my best to stand firm in these things. It's just certain boundaries aren't applicable in certain relationships. You know what I'm saying?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, exactly. What another word for what Bud is saying is also standards too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, because if I'm being honest, your biggest challenges with boundaries is like inside the house. It's not anybody external.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's not some person coming in and not exploiting, but you're not bending over backwards for like some brand new person. That's not the problem. It's in terms of your overarching challenges as we know it, you know what I'm saying, with boundaries is been mostly internal. You know what I mean? Like just dealing with stuff as the patriarch. So that's the part where it's like you set a standard across the board for whatever it is, like, or you don't. But I think that's what Butta was saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And that's fair. And I hear everything you're saying. So yeah,
That's big.
appreciate
Thank
you.
you for that. Like, I appreciate, man. I love hearing your growth and seeing it. Like, that's so dope. It really is.
Thank you, man.
I love that. I love that. I was just enjoying y'all.
I could see that because you was kind of sitting there doing one of these like a
I
proud
mean,
dad.
I can do mine if you want more time, Butta.
No, that was very disrespectful. So what I'm gonna do? I want just did he just call me out and then pull me by my ear? Okay, y'all. Where I was before, I wasn't quite contemplative. So since 2008, we're in 2026. 2000 was it 2018? Pardon me. We're in 2026. In 2018, I had to put my mom in the hospital, and she more or less never came back out the same. I didn't know at the time, but I was operating inside of this very high functioning depression. I presented to the world one thing, but I was always coming home to a dark home, lights off the whole thing. Because she and I didn't have the best relationship. So putting her in hospital psychologically felt like a get back. I know how much she hates the hospital. It was all of that. So I went through all of that thing. And the way I saw it immediately was in my finances. I was making a nice chunk of change. I was working a full-time job that started off part-time. I just wanted to make money while I was in Chicago helping my mom, but I was still traveling back to New York City. And for a while, I had an apartment in Chicago and New York City. I was doing really okay. COVID hit, and my joke was like, "Oh wait, I'm like regular people now. I have to do a
Really,
budget?"
really okay is interesting.
I was like, "Oh, I got to do a budget. Oh, okay, wow." And my
Wow.
running joke was one of the jobs. I'd be like, "Oh, this is my sneaker money." That's how I would navigate it. Killed my savings, like just went through it. But over time, I just became more and more and more depressed. In 2018, ended a 3-year relationship. My mother's husband died, who he and I did not have a great relationship, but he wouldn't go to the hospital unless I was there. He's like, he never called me by my name. Send the boy. The boy know what to do. He'll talk to the people right. Because he and I would like fight and argue when my mom wasn't around. And my mom was the person that would call me when I needed to say something slick. So, she needed, like, if she needed, help with her rent, because she wouldn't let us buy her what we wanted to get her. And so those moments, it was just so much going on. I didn't know how to communicate it, didn't have language for it. And it was feeling like failure and not like life. I felt like I was failing at life, and people were still calling on me for support. So I was feeling like a fraud and all this other stuff. As my I was about to say something very inappropriate. Anyway, so not that I would ever act like I got a doctorate, but I just felt like I was going, people were calling me for
That's
support.
crazy.
And I was like, yo, why are y'all calling me? I'm like, I'm messed up. And then fast forward, 2020 happens, a whole nine. And then 2021 happens, and that space that I had in Chicago, the person was just so this was somebody who I trusted. Um, I came back to Chicago and half of my stuff was underwater. And so I had to throw out half of my clothes. Some I gave to shelters, others I took to the secondhand store, what have you. Gave away a ton of shoes, hats, all that stuff, lost a lot of books. I had to pack up that apartment in a day and move it out. And I couldn't figure out why I was having issues with asthma and stuff like that, only to learn that there was fecal matter coming out of the water inside of the wall. So there were other things happening. Never discussed that whole nine. And somewhere I just got stuck. And one day between 2022 and today, I woke up and was like, Love, what happened? Number one, I'm very clear I stayed single way too long. So it's hard for me to even think about a relationship. On any level, like any romantic kind of relationship, it's like I enjoy the attention, but don't want to do any follow through. I don't even discuss it. But what's important to me today more than anything are these relationships. The people in my life that I'm allowing to see. What's different today is y'all. I really get to not just talk about your brotherhood, but be a brother. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that I didn't realize I was craving. It just so happened to be y'all who I already loved. I was like, oh wait, my tribe is already my tribe. I've been looking for a tribe. And so today, it's so funny. Today I was like, okay, Butta, if you buy this shoe, you can't do another shoe for the rest of the summer. And slowly moving that into that, because I keep saying I want to do something.
Did you buy it or?
Negro, you know I bought that shoe.
Only reason why I asked, because I recall last episode you saying you bought your last shoe, but I mean,
that time last time. This time,
gotcha.
Quite seriously, was like, yeah, Butta. Like, first of all, where are you gonna put? I still have a storage in Chicago, and so it's really about just letting those things go. But I also recognize there was a part of me trying to fill up the holes and the cracks in myself with things. And then like looking for a good therapist. I'm looking for a good therapist now for myself as well. The woman who I had before, she was like, oh my God, you're so self-actualized. The moment she said that, I was like, you're not my therapist. Don't be impressed. I use words every day. Don't be impressed by my words. I need for you to really help me dig into whatever this is, and then learning that I was avoiding.
I was going to say because some of those words are a defense mechanism.
Like it's really, and it wasn't just the word; it was service. I was able to serve you in such a way where you assumed that I was okay because I kept telling you I'm good when you asked. But for me, as long as you were good, I actually felt good. I was able to stand in your dream and stand and support you, and it just lifted my soul. But at the same time, my dreams were getting this big. And they were getting smaller and smaller. And then that little boy in me who used to shout and jump up and down, he kind of like sat in the corner and was like, you ain't gonna let me play, so what's the point? And then I kind of hid in my career. You couldn't find me because I was lost. And somewhere in there, I became Uncle Butta. And it kind of brought me out of that. I'm like, wait, what do uncles do? So, yeah. How about you?
Well, wait. So, where are we now, though? Right, like that was a great recap of the last 6 years, but where are the last 8 years? But where are we at? Where are we at today? Right. So, if you had the same question, if you had to bullet it, where would that fall for you?
Today, I love myself in a way that I never have before.
Okay.
That's fine.
I really love that dude. And I love this dude. I appreciate the dude that I was, but I really, really love who I am today. I recognize myself to be a force of nature. And the last thing, I always want to be the container. I don't always have to be the contents. Meaning, I want God to pour into me so that I can pour out, but I never want to be the point. My prayer used to be less of me and more of you. My new prayer in the last couple of years has been none of me, all of you. And so really wanting to serve God in such a way where when I'm called upon, like when I get off the call with you all, I'm meeting some young people who want to do restorative justice. So I'm going to write a whole curriculum. Well, I've written the curriculum. I'm just going to review it so I can be ready for them tomorrow. But I'm leaping into that conversation off of this one. And then supporting them with where they want to see themselves 5 years from now as the proprietors of this organization that they're being charged to create as freshmen. So that's a different kind of service. I feel whole, perfect, and complete, quite honestly. Right? I'm not afraid of what's next. I'm actually looking forward to it. And I get to be as creative as I want to be. And because of you specifically, Bill, I am looking at how to streamline cash flow and accountability of cash, right? Like paying off credit cards and leaving them paid off, as opposed to trying to resuscitate my closet.
Yeah, that black ass will have you doing that. I just paid a credit card off today, and I hurt my stomach.
Yeah.
It hurt my stomach. I'm not even going front.
The dumbest shit that anybody could ever do is make a minimal payment.
Yeah, at least now they tell you though. You know, they put it on like your statements, like if you only make the minimum, this is when it's going to get paid off. You know,
Yeah, but they
that's
never
different.
do that entrance thing. They don't really explain it thoroughly. And then for all of my parents with college students and orientations and things like that, please be clear. They are coming for your child's credit score. And if you haven't required your children to pay credit cards and stuff like that, my gift as Uncle Butta is have them pay their credit cards like they have an American Express. Whatever you spend this month, you pay off next month. More importantly, you probably should have them sign off on any credit cards, but that's just something that's big for me.
So crazy is, man. Well, thank you for that, brother.
You.
I appreciate being able to um assist, right, in that journey for you, like whether it's just acknowledgement of things I'm doing and reflection on your part. Um, but so yeah, so I put this together, man, because, and again, I know this is a two-part episode, but if you all go back, those of you listening, go back to my intro from last week. What I said was, sorry, my fan died and I'm over here sweating profusely. But um, what I said was, I think that quote, in 5 years you'll be exactly who you are today. The only difference will be the books you read and the people you meet. I think unconsciously that like lives rent free in my head. And the reason why I say that is because what have I been talking about this whole time? Like stimulation and feeling like I need to be pushed, stuff like that, is because I think I give myself an unconscious 5-year window for things. Like, let's just say categories, right? Like, let's just say me and Lo, right? Obviously, I'm not going to be with somebody else in 5 years, but I want things to look a different way or a certain way in 5 years. So our conversations unconsciously are about changes, right, that we can make, or adjustments we can make, or concessions that we can make. And it's unconscious. It's not me like, no, like I got to be somebody different in 5 years. It's not that. It's just I'm thinking just kind of how my mind is wired. Like I'm deeply rooted and start with the end in mind. So I don't live for the weekend or the month or whatever. Like I'm always thinking about, like I talked to my brother today and I got another property that I'm partnering on that we just actually signed the contract today. We didn't close yet, but the seller signed the contract today. So it's moving in the right direction. But I was talking to him about my plan for this property and then future state. So for those who don't know, like, I don't even know what the number is at this point. I'm probably like 15 to 18 houses I've owned since I was 23. And my plan was always get in and get out of houses, so to flip them, right? Buy something low, put some money in, some sweat equity, and then sell it for a profit, make your couple dollars, move on to the next one. That was always my thing, because my first rental property, I got burned because it was a 3-family in the epicenter of the hood, and I had to evict my whole building, and it was just a mess. And I'm like, I don't ever want to be a landlord again. However, as you get older, right, and you start to understand how money works, and you start to understand appreciation, and you start to understand leverage, I'm like, so I was explaining to him my plan, and he was like, oh, so he was like, so you just pivoted, huh? He's like, so you're not even talking about flipping no more. You're just talking about holding on. And in my mind, again, how my mind works, I'm like, yeah, I need to get my door count up, right? So doors is, if you can buy a 3-family, that's one house but 3 doors. So you get paid 3 times. So I'm like, I need to get my doors up because I want to have an option when it's time to retire. Do I want that to be my retirement, meaning it's paying me monthly, or do I want to cash out and do whatever I want to do with that money?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so that's one big pivot for me, where it's like I went from wanting to flip houses only exclusively to 5 years ago to now I'm thinking more long-term investment strategy. All right. So that's one thing. The other thing is my career at that time, 2021, I just got promoted. So I just relocated to Boston, and I was dead set on climbing the corporate ladder. I'm like, all right, this is the first step. In my opinion, right? My opinion. When you start, and I'm not, and this isn't exclusive to corporate. I'm sure it exists in the education system in all fields, for that matter, probably. But what happens is when you get prominent positions, a lot of people begin to conform to what they know that position to be, or who has occupied that position in the past. So that becomes their identity. You know what I mean? So I'm the type of person where my identity shows up in that position versus that position showing up in my identity. So I was excited about the opportunity because that wasn't necessarily the case with my peers, and not all of them, but a good amount of them. So, and then things happen, right? Corporate happens, mergers happen. And then it's like, all right, man, like, I don't know, man, like you get jaded, and it's like, what's really important? Like, what's really important? So for me, what I always knew, but I was focused on climbing. What I always knew was I need to lean into my purpose, which is to create opportunities for those who can't create them for themselves. And which I thought I was doing in my role, which I was, but it was a smaller scale. So now my role, like I'm on the inclusion team, or like that is my job, like marketplace inclusion. So I'm now more closely aligned to my purpose than I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy shit is I'm not making as much money. I still do well, but it's not what I was making. But somehow, so on paper, right? On paper, I don't make as much. But somehow, every year, I make the same as I used to. Right? So it's just crazy. And I mean, from my job, not necessarily real estate or anything like that. So somehow, some way, there still hasn't been a drop off, even though I'm freer now than I've ever been. When I say free, I mean creative control. I mean free to show up as my full self, right? Like with no worries about, and not that it mattered because I showed up as my full self before, but now it's like I do it and I feel great about it versus like I'm doing this because this is who I am and I'll deal with whatever comes as a result. You see what I'm saying? So that's the other thing. What else? Education. I'm not gonna front, Chief. I was thinking about you the other day when I was like, I gotta figure out what I need to do that's challenging. I'm like, it's like Chief got his whole master's and a damn administrative certificate. I can take a Spanish class. You know what I'm saying? Like I can take a Spanish class. So that's where I'm like, I need to start leaning into that. Whereas before, I'm like, the only justification that I saw at that time to making a decision to go to school was to make money. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. So those are the things that are the biggest differences for me going 5 years back to now. So
Well, that's dope. And I just literally, when we was talking, that's why I was on my phone. I put on my Facebook page about Spanish classes or tutors or whatever. So if something pops up, check it out. I'll let you know or whatever. But
yeah, you know,
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I too have been looking into that because I wanna get better at like professional conversation in the Spanish versus the broken hood Spanish. I want to be able to go into a room and put on my applications like bilingual. I don't think I'm comfortable putting bilingual. I mean, I could get away with it. I can get away with it, but I want to be able to like in professional settings. You know what I'm saying?
No, I got you. I mean, you definitely speak good enough Spanish in my book. Like,
I'm not comfortable because they're trying to put me in with some professionals that speak like low from the island. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hit. So
funny. I'm actually, just based on what you all shared, even around the conversation of like learning more and doing more, I'm looking at when was the last time I did my own self-improvement, right? When was the last time I did something for me to improve myself, either academically or inside of my career and stuff like that? And so that's the journey I'm on now. Like when I think about like 6 years from now, will I be an MSW? Will I be an LCSW? On tracking for something at 60 that looks like something academically, but then also I need to get more countries under my belt.
yeah, let's
Like, it's time to, like, I want to go to Amsterdam for Black History Month in October. Right? There are museums I want to visit around the world. I'm fascinated by those things. That's how I nerd out, right? I'm still going to Japan at some point this year, whether my cousin's there or not. But those are the kind of things I think about. Like as I'm listening to you sharing, I'm like, dang, I never got to want a house, Jane. I never wanted a house.
I mean, you predominantly lived in 2 major cities, so I get that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's so I watch, but I'm impressed and proud of you. I'm impressed. You know what I'm saying? I remember going to this house and him figuring out, these people got to move out, and then having to put a little friend in, or people living in the house. With you, I remember going to the house right after you got married and stuff like that. Yeah, only learned that house has become this house, and so like I love that. I'm always like, who taught you that? You know what I'm saying? Like, where did you all learn those things? Who gave you those gifts? I'm at this big age, still trying to find a mentor.
You mentioned that last time.
But so many people are looking for me to mentor. Like that, you dropped that grenade so smooth and got off that call. I forgot how angry I was at my big brother. And through tears, I was like, you motherfucker. I went through this bullshit with you before, with something completely different. And now you're making me do it again with this. I want to fight you in the face, dog. I want to put these paws on you. But I mean, what is that going to do? So I got to do what I did last time and love him real hard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And not like I'm clear about capacity and responsibility. And in this moment, it's my responsibility to let my brother, number one, know he's not by himself. So, and then for me, the next 6 years, the next 5 years also look like being able to celebrate my brother's birthday every year. Right.
Yeah, I think that's the follow up to the first questions, right? So what's the next 5 years look like?
Yeah. Like I want my brother to be around, and I want to know that I did my part, regardless of the choices he may make, because that may look different for him. But I want to know that I've exhausted every opportunity for him. And I talked about stability with Chief, and he's like, "Whoa, da, 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 da." And I think for me, what that looked like, I was looking at it 5 years from now, I'll be 60, right? And so for me, it looked like, shit, I just want to be stable. I want to mind my business, and I'll get out the way. And I'm not in a career that you retire from. You know what I'm saying? There's no pension for me at the end of like supporting people in this way. So I got to put another plan together. And what I also learned from our conversation, and I'll shut up after this, no one really starts over. We just continue with more information.
I agree.
No one really will say start over. And I know people will argue that, and I get what you all are saying, but what I mean by starting over, consider that you're as long as you're living, as long as you have a pulse, you have a purpose. But also, you're not starting over. Starting over would require you to start like from way back then. What you're doing, you're continuing the conversation, but we never consider the information we have moving forward. There's new information I have now where absolutely my next years won't ever look like the ones that I've lived. I will offer survived, because depression is a motherfucker. Ain't nothing like telling somebody to live when you on the fence about it. And I can share that honestly. And I was on the fence, like, this too much. Y'all done told me y'all didn't want me, and now it's final. Ain't neither one of you niggas here. I'm an orphan for real. Shit. And then I had to be honest. I didn't really have y'all when y'all was here. Like, shit, now why am I grieving then? That kind of shit. So,
to unpack.
Well, thank you for inviting me to the trip. You're like, yeah, you want to go on this trip? Time to unpack. You try to take too much on the luck, too much luck. And that made me sit back and really go, I don't see myself with nobody in 5 years. That's dumb, because I don't have that romantic thing the way I used to. And I'm like, where did it go? Did I leave it on the train? Like, did I lose it? Like, when y'all talking about love and life, I'd be like, that's beautiful for them. I'd be hyped. You ask me that shit, it'd be like almost asking me if I want to be a giraffe one day. Like, I'm about to be trans mammal. Like, no.
Yo.
It's wild, B.
No, I identify as a rhinoceros. Like, it's that kind of thing. And not minimize anyone who's transgender. I'm just saying, like, that's not an occurrence for me. So I was like, oh shit, I got to check into that. Like, what has me there? And is it genuine, or have I just settled or declined into a space of, well, this is what it is? So I'm so grateful for the conversation.
100%. Likewise.
No doubt. Well, listen, fellas, I'm looking at you, Bell, and you better now, but a moment ago, I'm like, my nigga's dying over there. Like, your nose got red. Like, you was over there.
Because
you was over there struggling in the heat.
Nah, I'm up here upstairs, and like we only had 2 days of hotness, so I'm like, I'm not about to do all the AC stuff. That's on another conversation. It's like, we said that we were going to do central air this year, and then Lorraine was like, yo, we got too much stuff going on for like to be dealing with a house project. So I'm like, all right, bet. But so I don't have the ACs in upstairs yet. Like Chase has a fan in his window, which is perfectly fine. So yeah, I did this all for y'all. You're welcome.
No, appreciate you. Love you for that.
I said I'm putting on some pounds, so I needed to shed some anyway. The sweat's helping.
No doubt. But let's get you up out of that room before you fuck around and stroke out.
Pass out.
Word. Yeah, man. It's always dope catching up with you boys, man. So let's go ahead and wrap this thing up and get these folks our final thoughts and close this chapter. Bellhead. I'm gonna save you for a second, but Butter, you on the hot seat, baby. Give us your final thought.
Yo, final thought. Here's my challenge to you. Write down your next 5 years. If you notice what we looked at tonight, we looked at our 5 years from where we were to where we are. The difference is that you didn't hear us dwell. You heard us reflect. Dwelling will cause us to be stuck. Reflection will cause us to take action. In my conversations, both times, I get to take action in the areas where I haven't been taking action. So I want to invite you to join us on this 5 year journey by taking the time to write out. I mean, it's your life. Create it the way you want it. That's what I'm leaving with, and I want to leave you with that. Join us on this journey of 5 years. What's your 5 year plan? Drop it in the chat. Send us the email. Let us know.
Word. Go ahead. Talk to him.
I wish Butter could have just made the final thought for all of us, because that was perfect. But if I have to say something, start with the end in mind. Like I said, start with the end in mind. I love what you said about it, that we didn't dwell. There's no losses, just lessons. So if we take it like that, we should be able to propel ourselves to exactly where we want to go. But in my opinion, a bad plan is worse than no plan is worse than a bad plan. So put something together, whatever it is. Hey, I want to be X. Or better yet, if you really want to get good with goal writing, write it in present tense. Right? I'm so glad that I have X by the type. But yeah, that's all. And give yourself some grace. Like Chief talked about that. Give yourself some grace. Understand that we're all work in progress, but the key is the work to experience the progress. So that's my final thought.
Word. For me, combination of what they both said, but I'm gonna break it down into specifics. Bell said start with the end in mind. Butter said make the plan. So here's my thing. Start with the end in mind personally, professionally, financially, and romantically. Use those 4 categories and break those down and see what your 5 year plan looks like in those 4 areas. And then maybe if there's, they can be, some of them can be even combined together, but just to be more specific, I'm good with being given specifics and having to iron those out versus be like, give me a plan. You know what I'm saying? I told like Bell, we learned something about, let's just give me a deadline. Tell me what needs to be done and give me a deadline and we'll make it that one. He'd be like, yeah, just do that. I'm like, I got you. And then so when you give me a deadline, I'll make sure it's done by that time. So give yourself a deadline to have these conversations and to write these plans out and then see what you come up with. I think it's a pretty dope activity and it's only going to help you grow. Develop some more discipline and do all the things that you anticipate doing because you said you're going to do them. You heard? That's that. We appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. We are on all social media outlets at All Black Men Need Therapy. We can be reached at allblackmennedtherapy@gmail.com. Shoot us an email. People shoot us emails every day, and we appreciate y'all. We not ignoring y'all. We moving and shaking. We tap in with some of y'all when we can. So keep shooting them emails to us. We appreciate y'all. Shoot us a text or give us a call on our voice line, 860-410-6160, 860-410-6160. And as always, Bell, let them know what it is.
We have created this space 6 years ago now to for Black men to come and openly engage in conversations surrounding mental health. And we are doing our best to continue to be the message deliver a message authentically and vulnerable each week to allow us to create that community for you all to come forward. So we appreciate you for listening.
Word. Per usual, y'all do us all a favor and hug a black man today.
Do it.
And tomorrow.
Do it.
We out, y'all.
Go, y'all.
Peace.